Hey guys, Abraham here with the Salmon Homestead. Today I wanted to show you just a few things with pruning apple trees and pear trees, plum trees if you have them, and then tell you a few reasons why it's good to maybe have a plum tree, pear tree on your property. You may be considering, well, where could I plant an apple tree, a pear tree, or a plum tree? Years back, we did not have the space at our house to plant a tree like this because they do take up a little bit of space. So we asked our school that we were at and our church, and we asked if we could plant some trees there, and they had said yes. And so that's where we're at. We're at where we had planted trees quite a few years ago. Now you may consider, well, what branches should I take off my tree? Well, I'm not a professional with this, but this is what I look for. I look for any branches that might be cracked, or they may look diseased, or maybe they're crossing with another branch. A branch that's maybe going straight up, and another branch that's going straight down. So let's look at some of those on this tree right here of what I'm maybe gonna prune off. So right here on the tree, you may see that there are some branches coming straight up right here. I'm gonna take these out because these are going straight up in the tree and they're crossing with this main branch right up here. Those will be branches that I'm gonna take out. Where am I gonna take them out? I'm gonna take them out right at the collar. Right here, you'll be able to see a difference. So right here is the little bulge. So I'm gonna cut right along here. So I'm either gonna use my pruning shear, in this case my pruning shear, because I can get a good connection on it. Yeah. The branch that's right here, you can see that would sort of be an easy choice to know to take off. You can see that that's broken. So same thing, I'm gonna cut it off right down by the collar. The branches that are right here, you can see there's quite a few branches coming together. And I'm gonna take off this branch for two reasons. One, this one here, you may realize that it looks damaged on the side. That's from the lawnmower going around the side and hitting this branch. And I'm gonna take it off because it connects to another decent branch right here. So I'm gonna let this branch go, take this one out, and I'm gonna take this one out for two reasons. One nice reason is that branch is almost coming straight out and down. Reason number two would be is yes, it also is damaged from the lawnmower. So in this case, I'm going to use my saw. So in using my saw, I'm gonna cut from both directions. I'm gonna first start on one direction, get it started there. If I continued all the way through, I might get a rip of this branch falling down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to then also cut on the bottom, and then I have no rip that took place. So cut on one side just so it doesn't start to bend, and then finish on the other side right by that collar, right by where the ring is, and then you're going to get a nice cut. Again, this is how I do it. I'm not a professional, and I believe all my trees are still living yet. Another area you might want to look at is how close your branches come together with other branches on the tree. And so right here, there really is a lot of branches coming together. So you have the main coming up here and then branch. If I look back, I should have taken off this one or this one, determine which one was going to be my main branch coming up. I didn't, so now I have to work with it. So what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna take out this one here because it's coming at this joint, this one here, and this one here. And why am I gonna do that? Because when you have so many branches coming together at one spot, that eventually is going to create a weak spot. So this one, and this one I'm now going to remove.
Whoa, this branch.
The tree I'm working with right here is a plum tree. Many times with a plum or pear, you may not trim them as much. This one got a little away from me, so you can see why some of the branches are a little closer together, but gradually we'll get it back into control. Now here's an apple tree. I'm changing my way on pruning the apple tree a little bit. I feel like there's a little more deer pressure, so I am allowing some of the branches to go upward to create a little more height on this tree. Otherwise, I was really just trying to make sure the tree was no longer higher than 5 feet, but I've changed my method on that a little bit. So you may see on here that there are some branches going straight up, so I am going to let some of those that are nice going straight up and look strong, I'm going to let some of those be, so that way the deer won't get those apples come fall. Fruiting trees, fruiting bushes that give fruit, they do really well if they are pruned. If you just leave them and don't do anything with them, you won't get as much fruit. Branches will just go wherever. A storm may go through and you have some broken and disease could possibly set in. But the main reason that you would want to take off branches, why I'm going through this, is it's going to tell the tree, hey, I should produce some new branches. I need to produce some good fruit. So that way when it's time to go and get your harvest, you're going to have some great fruit to get. We're located in Wisconsin, Zone 5 / my opinion, part Zone 4, depending on how cold that winter got. So our trees that we like to plant, we like to have an awesome rootstock, and that can be for another video, but I plan for growing in cold temperatures like 4. But we are Zone 5 / Zone 4. And the question may also be is, when do you prune? You can see the trees do not have any leaves on. I like to prune come February into March, because that's when it's not extremely cold, but it's also before the trees are budding out and putting energy into the branches. I'm trying to prune before the branches get that nice energy and producing leaves, so that way the tree doesn't put that energy into branches that I'm going to cut off. So prune after Christmas, when it's sort of some nice days, when you can get out there and really look at your tree, but before it's going to bud out and leaf out, so that you don't lose energy in branches that you're going to cut off. What might you use these branches for that you cut off a tree? These branches, most of them are going to go to our rabbits. They love eating branches off apple trees and pear trees that I give to them. You also could keep the branches, maybe cut them into smaller parts, and if you're a person that likes to do smoking with the grill, you'd have some apple wood that you could use for smoking on the grill. Another thing you could use them for is just if you burn wood and you cut them into small parts, and use them in your regular wood fire. Maybe another thing you have is maybe you happen to have a wood chipper at home. You'd send it through, of course, your wood chipper, and now it could add some nice chips to the bottom of your tree. So different uses of the branches. So you have your apple tree, you have your pear tree, your plum tree, and you're like, where should I get started? First, make sure you have a tool, something like this. You need something that's nice and sharp, and you should have a really clean cutting blade. Secondly, look at your tree and look at it and say, what branches maybe are crossing each other? And just go through and remove those. Look around and see, secondly, what branches maybe look damaged. Remove those. And then maybe just look back and say, did I already remove enough branches that my tree looks nice? That looks like it's going to grow? Because maybe after you just did removing of dead branches, you did branches that were crossing each other, maybe you're like, wow, I took out quite a bit of the tree. Maybe that's where you pause for this year. And then next year, maybe you're like, oh, I'm going to take out that branch because it's really going straight up, and if the wind came, it could just tear it right off. So I'm going to remove that branch. But you know what? Just start cutting. The only way you truly can harm that tree would be as if you cut it off right above ground level and all of a sudden you have the whole tree and there's nothing standing. That'd probably be the only way you really could hurt the tree, at least in my experience. But otherwise, just cut a little bit and it will grow. It will grow. Next year you'll get new growth and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna cut over there. It will go well for you. Just get started and do it. I hope you are excited to get out there and prune those trees. Smash that like and subscribe button that's down below, and we'll see you on the next one.
Almost done with the trees, and see you on the next episode from Dad. Bye-bye.